Welcome back to Everyday Stoic.
I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Love is born into every human being. It calls back the halves of our original nature together. It tries to make one out of the two and heal the wound of human nature. Many lumps of incense on the same altar. One crumbles now, one later, but it makes no difference. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. To do harm is to do yourself harm. To do an injustice is to do yourself an injustice. It degrades you. I thought to myself, I am wiser than this man. Neither of us properly knows anything that is really good, but he thinks he has knowledge, when he has not, while I, having no knowledge, do not think I have. Learn as if you were not reaching your goal, and as though you were scared of missing it. A superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. How can you prove whether at this moment we are sleeping, and all our thoughts are a dream, or whether we're awake, and talking to one another in a waking state? This is what you deserve. You could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow. Don't be ashamed to need help. Like a soldier storming a wall, you have a mission to accomplish. And if you've been wounded, you need a comrade to pull you up. So what? It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Let your intention be. Do not train a child to learn by force or harshness, but direct them to it by what amuses their minds, so that you may be better able to discover with accuracy the peculiar bent of the genius of each. No matter what anyone says or does, my task is to be good, like gold or emerald or purple repeating to itself. No matter what anyone says or does, my task is to be emerald, my colour undiminished. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbour's roof when your own doorstep is unclean. Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. Nothing that goes on in anyone else's mind can harm you, nor can the shifts and changes of the world around you. Then where is the harm to be found? In your capacity to see it. Stop doing that, and everything will be fine. Let the part of you that makes the judgment keep quiet, even if the body it's attached to is stabbed, or burnt, or stinking with pus, or consumed by cancer. Or, to put it another way, it needs to realize that what happens to everyone, bad and good alike, is neither good nor bad. That what happens in every life, lived naturally or not, is neither natural nor unnatural. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. The superior man makes the difficulty to be overcome his first interest. Success only comes later. We have various abilities, present in all rational creatures, as in the nature of rationality itself. And this is one of them. Just as nature takes every obstacle, every impediment, and works around it, turns it to its purposes, incorporates it into itself, so too a rational being can turn each setback into raw material and use it to achieve its goal. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. Worry not that no one knows you. Seek to be worth knowing. Why all this guesswork? You can see what needs to be done. If you can see the road, follow it, cheerfully without turning back. If not, hold up and get the best advice you can. If anything gets in the way, forge on ahead, making good use of what you have on hand, sticking to what seems right. The best goal to achieve, and the one we fall short of when we fail. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. By nature, men are nearly alike. By practice, they get to be wide apart. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Your life is what your thoughts make it. Not to be driven this way and that, but always to behave with justice and see things as they are. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. Imagination is more important than knowledge. If you don't have a consistent goal in life, you can't live with it in a consistent way. Unhelpful unless you specify a goal. There is no common benchmark for all the things that people think are good, except for a few, the ones that affect us all. So the goal should be a common one, a civic one. If you direct your energies towards that, your actions will be consistent, and so will you. Excellence is not a gift, but a skill that takes practice. We do not act rightly because we are excellent. In fact, we achieve excellence by acting rightly. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. I would teach children music, physics, and philosophy, but most importantly music, for the patterns in music and all the arts are the keys to learning. The essence of knowledge is having it to use it. Practice even what seems impossible. The left hand is useless at almost everything for lack of practice, but it guides the reins better than the right, from practice. By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First by reflection, which is noblest. Second by imitation, which is easiest. And third by experience, which is the bitterest. There is in every one of us, even those who seem to be most moderate, a type of desire that is terrible, wild, and lawless. When anger rises, think of the consequences. You are what you think. It was for the best, so nature had no choice but to do it. I want you to be everything that's you, deep in the center of your being. Good actions give strength to ourselves and inspire good actions in others. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all of the questions. You should not honor men more than truth. If you think in terms of a year, plant a seed. If in terms of 10 years, plant trees. If in terms of 100 years, teach the people. Enter their minds, and you'll find the judges you're so afraid of, and how judiciously they judge themselves. Love is the pursuit of the whole. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. A hero is born among 100, a wise man is found among 1,000, but an accomplished one might not be found even among 100,000 men. The man who says he can and the man who says he cannot are both correct. Courage is knowing what not to fear. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. How to act. Never under compulsion, out of selfishness, without forethought, with misgivings. Don't gussy up your thoughts. No surplus words or unnecessary actions. Let the spirit in you represent a man, an adult, a citizen, a Roman, a ruler, taking up his post like a soldier and patiently awaiting his recall from life, needing no oath or witness, cheerfulness, without requiring other people's help or serenity supplied by others, to stand up straight, not straightened. The journey with 1,000 miles begins with one step. Those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. Without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? Necessity is the mother of invention. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. Those who cannot forgive others break the bridge over which they themselves must pass. Looking at small advantages prevents great affairs from being accomplished. Disgraceful for the soul to give up when the body is still going strong. All people are the same, only their habits differ. When we see persons of worth, we should think of equaling them. When we see persons of contrary character, we should turn inward and examine ourselves. Everywhere at each moment you have an option: to accept this event with humility, to treat this person as he should be treated, to approach this thought with care, so that nothing irrational creeps in. Learn avidly, question it repeatedly, analyze it carefully, then put what you have learned into practice intelligently. Not to assume it's impossible because you find it hard, but to recognize that if it's humanly possible, you can do it too. Practice really hearing what people say. Do your best to get inside their minds. A house that has a library in it has a soul. It is normal to feel pain in your hands and feet, if you're using your feet as feet and your hands as hands. And for a human being to feel stress is normal, if he's living a normal human life. And if it's normal, how can it be bad? The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. Only the dead have seen the end of war. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I will deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. And so none of them can hurt me. No one can implicate me in ugliness, nor can I feel angry at my relative or hate him. We were born to work together, like the feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on him, these are obstructions. The superior man is distressed by the limitations of his ability. He is not distressed by the fact that men do not recognize the ability that he has. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Never regard something as doing you good if it makes you betray a trust, or lose your sense of shame, or makes you show hatred, suspicion, ill will or hypocrisy, or a desire for things best done behind closed doors. If you can privilege your own mind, your guiding spirit, and your reverence for its powers, that should keep you clear of dramatics, of wailing and gnashing of teeth. You won't need solitude, or a cast of thousands either. Above all, you'll be free of fear and desire, and how long your body will contain the soul that inhabits it will cause you not a moment's worry. If it's time for you to go, leave willingly, as you would to accomplish anything that can be done with grace and honour. When men speak ill of thee, live so as nobody may believe them. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. If an action or utterance is appropriate, then it's appropriate for you. Don't be put off by other people's comments and criticism. If it's right to say or do, then it's the right thing for you to do or say. The others obey their own lead. Follow their own impulses. Don't be distracted. Keep walking. Follow your own nature, and follow nature. Along the road they share. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. Learning without thought is labour lost. Thought without learning is perilous. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world, and the world at large. If women are expected to do the same work as men, we must teach them the same things. You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you. Things can't shape our decisions by themselves. What you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. If anyone can refute me, show me I am making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone. What harms us is to persist in self-deceit and ignorance. Character is simply habit long continued. When you have faults, do not fear to abandon them. If you seek tranquility, do less, or more accurately, do what is essential, what the logos of a social being requires, and in the requisite way, which brings a double satisfaction, to do less better, because most of all what we say and do is not essential, If you can eliminate it, you'll have more time and more tranquility. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? But we need to eliminate unnecessary assumptions as well, to eliminate the unnecessary actions that follow. Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time that we fail. False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. Everything that deceives may be said to enchant. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. When people injure you, ask yourself what good or harm they thought would come of it. If you understand that, you'll feel sympathy rather than outrage or anger. Your sense of good and evil may be the same as theirs, or near to it, in which case you have to excuse them. Or your sense of good and evil may differ from theirs, in which case they're misguided and deserve your compassion. Is that so hard? Death is not the worst that can happen to men. Act with kindness, but do not expect gratitude. If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The mind is the ruler of the soul. It should remain unstirred by agitations of the flesh, gentle and violent ones alike, not mingling with them, but fencing itself off and keeping those feelings in their place. When they make their way into your thoughts, through the sympathetic link between mind and body, don't try to resist the sensation. The sensation is natural, but don't let the mind start in with judgments, calling it good or bad. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are the three universally recognized moral qualities of men. Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice. And on freeing yourself from all other distractions, yes, you can, if you do everything as if it were the last thing you are doing in your life, and stop being aimless. Stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you. Stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable. You see how few things you have to do to live a satisfying and reverent life. If you can manage this, that's all even the gods can ask of you. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Every heart sings a song, incomplete until another heart whispers back. Those who wish to sing always find a song. At the touch of a lover, everyone becomes a poet. To be wronged is nothing, unless you continue to remember it. Do external things distract you? Then make time for yourself to learn something worthwhile. Stop letting yourself be pulled in all directions. But make sure you guard against the other kind of confusion. People who labour all their lives, but have no purpose to direct every thought and impulse towards, are wasting their time, even when hard at work. The beginning is the most important part of the work. It is easy to hate, and it is difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things works. All good things are difficult to achieve, and bad things are very easy to get. A lion chased me up a tree, and I greatly enjoyed the view from the top. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do. Only what you do. Not to be distracted by their darkness, to run straight for the finish line, unswerving. We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. When you see a good person, think of becoming like her or him. When you see someone not so good, reflect on your own weak points. You've given aid and they've received it, and yet like an idiot you keep holding on for more, to be credited with a good deed, to be repaid in kind. Why? The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. Not to live as if you had endless years ahead of you. Death overshadows you. While you're alive and able, be good.